Today's reading is by G K Chesterton, excerpted from The Common Man. Thanks to J.P. Brooks for the request. The best reason for a revival of philosophy is that unless a man has a philosophy, certain horrible things will happen to him. He will be practical. He will be progressive. He will cultivate efficiency. He will trust in evolution. He will do the work that lies nearest. He will devote himself to deeds, not words. Thus struck down by blow after blow of blind stupidity and random fate, he will stagger on to a miserable death with no comfort but a series of catchwords, such as those which I have catalogued above. Those things are simply substitutes for thoughts. In some cases they are the tags and tail ends of somebody else's thinking. That means that a man who refuses to have his own philosophy will not even have the advantage of a brute beast and be left to his own instincts. He will only have the used-up scraps of somebody else's philosophy, which the beasts do not have to inherit, hence their happiness. Men have always one of two things, either a complete and conscious philosophy, or the unconscious acceptance of the broken bits of some incomplete and shattered and often discredited philosophy. The advantage of an elementary philosophic habit is that it permits a man, for instance, to understand a statement like this: whether there can or cannot be exceptions to a process depends on the nature of that process. The disadvantage of not having it is that a man will turn impatiently even from so simple a truism and call it metaphysical gibberish. He will then go off and say, one can't have such things in the 20th century, which really is gibberish. Yet the former statement could surely be explained to him in sufficiently simple terms. If a man sees a river run downhill day after day and year after year, he is justified in reckoning, we might say in betting, that it will do so till he dies. But he is not justified in saying that it cannot run uphill until he really knows why it runs downhill. To say it does so by gravitation answers the physical but not the philosophical question. It only repeats that there is a repetition. It does not touch the deeper question of whether that repetition could be altered by anything outside it. And that depends on whether there is anything outside it. For instance, suppose that a man had only seen the river in a dream. He might have seen it in 100 dreams, always repeating itself and always running downhill. But that would not prevent the 100th dream being different and the river climbing the mountain, because the dream is a dream, and there is something outside it. Mere repetition does not prove reality or inevitability. We must know the nature of the thing and the cause of the repetition. If the nature of the thing is a creation, and the cause of the thing a creator, in other words, if the repetition itself is only the repetition of something willed by a person, then it is not impossible for the same person to will a different thing. If a man is a fool for believing in a creator, then he is a fool for believing in a miracle, but not otherwise. Otherwise, he is simply a philosopher who is consistent in his philosophy. A modern man is quite free to choose either philosophy, but what is actually the matter with a modern man is that he does not know even his own philosophy, but only his own phraseology. He can only answer the next spiritual message produced by a spiritualist, or the next cure attested by doctors at Lourdes, by repeating what are generally nothing but phrases, or are, at their best, prejudices. Thus, when so brilliant a man as Mr. H. G. Wells says that such supernatural ideas have become impossible for intelligent people, he is, for that instant, not talking like an intelligent person. In other words, he is not talking like a philosopher, because he is not even saying what he means. What he means is not impossible for intelligent men, but impossible for intelligent monists, or impossible for intelligent determinists. But it is not a negation of intelligence to hold any coherent and logical conception of so mysterious a world. It is not a negation of intelligence to think that all experience is a dream. It is not unintelligent to think it a delusion, as some Buddhists do, let alone to think it a product of created will, as Christians do. We are always being told that men must no longer be so sharply divided into their different religions. As an immediate step in progress, it is much more urgent that they should be more clearly and more sharply divided into their different philosophies. This has been the Silverchair Press Daily Reading. To comment or make suggestions, email info@silverchairbookstore.com.